Welcome to Lead with AC episode 10. If this is your first time with us, I'm so glad that you joined us today, and I want to invite you to go ahead and hit that subscribe button and hit that notification bell and join us on this journey of growing in our leadership as well as positioning ourselves to succeed and thrive today and in the future. Today we're beginning a new series of talks titled Christ in Leadership. In this series, we're going to explore how Jesus, through what he taught, as well as through his disciples, his followers, transformed the world. We will see what leadership qualities we can learn from Jesus and how that can help each of us become better leaders. Now, if you're not a Christian, I want you to know that this series will definitely benefit you. We will be exploring who Jesus is in regard to his leadership, and studying and learning from his leadership is something that all of us can do whether or not we believe Jesus to be God. Now, if you are a Christian, I'm really excited that you joined me on this journey, because I believe that this journey of learning the qualities of leadership, of learning Jesus's leadership style, will help you deepen and widen your love for Jesus. It will help you expand your view of him. I myself am a Christian, and I'm excited to be journeying with you, whether or not you believe Jesus is God, whether or not you consider yourself a Christian. Because again, this series will help all of us, no matter what we believe, grow in our leadership qualities. In this episode, I'm going to share why I believe studying the leadership of Jesus and what he taught is important. I hope to be able to help you see that all of us have great things to learn from Jesus, and why we do, no matter what we believe about Jesus, want to study his leadership, his style, how he addressed people, how he used words, how he conducted himself, and what he taught. The reason Lead with AC exists is to add value to you. My vision is to influence world changers. My mission is to inspire you to become a better you. Why? Because when you get better, the world gets better. And I truly believe that you and I are about to begin a journey of leadership growth, that when we look back, we will see how we were impacted by what we learned from Jesus about what leadership is and looks like, and what leaders do. The movement that Jesus formed has transformed the world, especially the West. We call that movement Christianity. It's not an exaggeration to say that all of the things that we value about our culture and people in the West come from Christianity. Scholars like Tom Holland, who is not a Christian himself, would tell you that the very air you breathe today when it comes to values, ideas, or culture is Christian air. Some scholars would describe everyone in the West as living from Christian values, even though they do not recognize them as such. This is the impact of Christianity in the West. It has established and transformed, guided and molded the culture and values that the West, that we as Westerners live in, value, cherish, and love. Everything that we truly value in the West emerges from a Christian heritage. The great separator between the West and other parts of the world, like the Middle East, Southeast Asia, China, India, has been the Christian heritage that the West has. What has led to these parts of the world being so different than the West when it comes to the way that people are treated. For example, how not only people are treated, but how justice is seen, freedom is spoken of. The great separator, the great difference is the lack of effect that the teaching of Jesus have had in those places, either due to the suppression by persecution of the governments, or that it hasn't really arrived there yet, or that it is not an accepted faith in those countries. In our current culture, we like to think that all religions teach the same thing, that they're all basically created the same way. We like to think that all religions basically teach to be a good person, to live a good life, and to do good. But in reality, when you study religions, you come to see that that is completely false. You come to see that religions are truly different, that superficially they look similar, but at their core, they're extremely different. It's true that all religions share common things or beliefs. So, for example, the Golden Rule can be found in all major world religions in one way or another. And the Golden Rule basically says, do unto others what you would like them to do unto you. You will find that the Buddha made the Golden Rule one of the cornerstones of his teachings. Jesus teaches the Golden Rule as well. What I just quoted as the Golden Rule actually is Jesus' formulation of it. Confucianism would say it this way: never impose on others what you would not choose for yourself. So all religions share some common features, but at their core, they're vastly different. The way of salvation in each major religion is different, and they contradict one another when it comes to what salvation is. Each major religion excludes the other way of salvation. And although some religions, like Baha'i, include other faiths in them, the reality is that the major religions of the world are in complete disagreement about the purpose of humanity, humanity's end or destiny, that means heaven, hell, nirvana, freedom from samsara, the wheel of samsara, whatever it may be. They differ in what is most important. They differ in who God is and what he is like, how many gods there are, whether one or many, if God is one in three persons in one, or if God doesn't exist. Buddhism, for example, there's a branch of it that teaches that God doesn't really exist. Religions differ on how people should live, what the world is like, why there is evil and suffering, and that's just to name a few of the things that major world religions disagree in. I say all this to point out that Christianity has been the heritage that if you're in the West, you and I have been shaped by. Let me make sure that I say this, because I don't want to be misunderstood. I'm not saying that Christians have all been good and never done bad. That's not what I'm saying at all. I'm also not saying that Western culture is the best culture and that all other cultures are terrible. That's not what I'm saying either. What I am saying is that if you're in the West, all that you value as true, the majority of the things that you take for granted are born from a Christian heritage. So, for example, Jürgen Habermas has expressed that the growing consensus of many scholars is that the modern ideals of freedom of conscience, human rights, and democracy come from the Bible's teaching on justice and love, and that secular society has found no good alternative way to ground these ideals. Alvin J. Smith, in his book How Christianity Changed the World, says, many today who disparage Christianity may not know or believe that were it not for Christianity, they would not have the freedom that they presently enjoy. The very freedom of speech and expression that ironically permits them to castigate Christian values is largely a byproduct of Christianity's influences that have been incorporated into the social fabric of the Western world. This brings me to why studying the leadership of Jesus, who is also called Christ or Jesus Christ, is vital to us and will reap great benefit no matter what you believe about him. The impact that Jesus had in the world is incomprehensible. What's crazy in all of this is that his leadership journey was only 3 years long. What kind of leader in 3 years is able to have the impact that Jesus did after he's gone? What did Jesus do in those 3 years that caused his disciples to be able to change the world and influence the way we think about people today? To set us in a path to demolish slavery, to see women as equal, to create adoption, to value life, to put systems of places where equality in race is sin, where people are treated with dignity. What did Jesus do in 3 years? It's amazing. It's incomprehensible to think about the impact that he had in the world today. As we jump into this series, we will come to see some key vital values that we can learn about Jesus in regard to our own personal leadership journey. We will come to see how important it is to develop leaders if our vision is going to outlive us. We will come to see the power of words and the power of inclusivity. We will see how humility is the foundation of every great movement. How it is more blessed to give than to receive. How if we focus on others, we're able to live between you and I, to foster an environment where you and I and other people, because we're focused on the good of others, is able to flourish. We will see the importance of character, of setting time aside to rest and recover, how forgiveness is important if we're going to lead well. We will see the importance of working hard and of knowing our stuff, of not being hypocrites. Man, I can't tell you how excited I am for this journey. Can you tell? I bet you can. This is going to be a great series, and I want to invite you to join me and comment along and let me know what's sticking out to you, what's impacting you. Let me know what you're seeing and how that has influence in your life and in the life of other people. Put it in the comment. I want to be able to participate and do this with you. If you haven't subscribed, this is a great time to subscribe. Let's go on this journey of learning these great leadership values from Jesus and apply them to our leadership so that we could be transformational leaders like Jesus was. If you have any questions about Jesus or religion that you would like me to answer, put it in the comment section as well. My bachelor degree is a degree in religious studies with a minor in psychology, and my master's degree is a degree in theology. So any questions about religion or Christianity or God, go ahead and put it in the comment section, and maybe I will even do a response video if you have any of them. And of course, if you find this series helpful, share it with a friend. The journey is better when you and I do it together. This is why I'm encouraging to go ahead and also comment. I'm excited for this series. I'm excited for what we're going to see next week as we dive deep to explore what we can learn about leadership from this man named Jesus, who in 3 years developed a leadership structure that went on to transform the entire world. It's going to be good. It's going to help us grow. And I'm excited to add value to you. I hope I inspire you today to join me in this journey. And I hope I inspire you today to become a better you. Until next time, AC out.